day 5 of Ultiworld coverage of the World Junior Ultimate Championship. Logroño, Spain is hosting yet another day of exciting junior matchups. It will be a Southern European affair. In the next round, France versus Italy. My name is Rachel Toshnerova and I'm in the commentary booth alongside Ellie Thomas.
Both of these teams headed into the matchup undefeated, jockeying for that top spot in the pool. Normally looking for the top spot would be looking to find an easier quarter. However, across the other side in Pool B, there isn't really an easy matchup, is there, Rahel?
There isn't. I am really excited for this game. These two teams have had some tight matchups or games against some lower seeds in the pool, and I think it will be quite an equal game.
Yes, as you say, they are clearing away the front runners in this pool. Czechia and New Zealand pretty comfortably through to bracket play, whereas in the other pool, all sorts of things going on. We had USA, Canada, Japan and Belgium taking turns at beating each other. So we'll see how that all shakes out later on today.
Thank you for taking us through that mess of a Pool B, really. Lots of interesting results in different divisions, not just women's, but let's have a look at some stars that will be featured in the upcoming game. Ariana Ascari, 7 goals, impressive 5 assists to her name. We see her getting ready with her teammates. And the same for France. Gaëtan Lapezenec, 11 goals and 13 assists. So a proper scoring machine for the French women's contingent.
These teams have a bit of a history facing off against each other at the European Youth Championships previously in the final.
Not just in the women's division, we must add.
Very true, very true. Real powerhouses of European Ultimate, both of these countries producing some absolutely fantastic players across all age divisions.
It is looking like France is ready to receive the pole, which means they will start this game on offense. So far, the weather conditions are quite nice. A little bit of a light breeze, nothing that we've experienced on Tuesday. So we should have a good game on our hands. The pole lands just around the brick mark. And an early overthrow and a huge save under defensive pressure. France keep possession and move to the near sideline.
A little bit of conversation among the players.
And a deep shot goes up already. Italian defense underneath it. Second chance. The defender says no.
Early break chance here.
Capello with the block for Italy. They had a nice flow that's been stopped in the middle of the field for a reset. Simonazzi. Sideways to Rampazzo. We see that bit of a side stack action. Few players underneath that, but we see a turnover sign for some reason. I think they are saying that the disc might have been down. Let's hear the discussion from the field.
Yes, but when you were on the floor, you were like that, and then just like that. But because she came into my arm. The contest was okay, that's in the like but it's for a contact that there is. So I have this in, yeah. So it's like
okay. It's contested. Foul, contest.
A contested foul will bring the disc back into play, with Italy still in possession and an early break chance right off the first point. Not quite sure what happened there, but there was a collision of a few players. It's been resolved now. Italy resets. The lefty Simonazzi staying patient. Not too many gainers for Italy, but now they find the inside channel. Lots of pressure from France, really fighting to get this disc back, but Italy now through the break side. In front of the end zone is Mani. Mani with a high disc into the end zone, and it will be a bit too far for Marta Rota.
Ambitious option. Rota is 177 centimeters, so a tempting target for a high disc, but a little bit too much even for her.
So France get their way. And another shot at getting their first offensive hold of the game. Lots of short passes around the disc, but now they get the bigger gainer, and the defender peeled off of her player to try to get that heads-up D and leaves their player completely open in the end zone. Caron with the first goal for France.
Who else in the end zone but Gaëtane Lepetzenek? We said she was one to watch. She is absolutely one to keep an eye on. Some early game nerves from France there, resulting in a couple of turns. Free as a bird in the back corner.
So a bit of a dirty hold for the French, but they did manage to get the disc back last second. I don't know if we can necessarily attribute it to the French defense or the Italian execution error, but it counts and history won't ask about it. So with the wind blowing in the direction away from the cameras, the Italian O-line is going to give it a go.
Lepetzenek back out on the field. Two points in a row, no problem for her.
A bit of a split stack look from the Italians. They're moving through the poachy looks of the French with ease so far. As they find Benzi on the sideline. Ascari now in the middle. She wants that inside break. She gets it in, but that one is a bit too far.
Stifling defense from France, not really giving Italy anywhere to look. It was a nice channel, but the wind just blew it a little bit too far out of the outstretched hands of Benzi.
So now Italy under pressure to get that disc back. If they can do it here near the end zone that they're attacking, it would definitely be a good starting point for them. French center to Lassin. And under pressure, a nice catch on the far sideline. French sticking with a vertical setup. Reset to Dolet. Upline cut is not defended by Italy. And a little bit of a miscommunication on the reset. But they stick with the disc. Nice switch to get to their right matchups. Poisson. Resets once more. Lots of passes in this point already. The French not wanting to let this chance of a break slip away. Beauvais waiting for her mark to approach. One more reset. Can they keep their cool? They're gonna find the open player. La Rivière. Into the center and into the end zone. Just to make an error on the last pass. Wobbled disc. And Italy is safe for now. They quickly move the other way. They decide for the forehand shot when the backhand got taken away by the mark, and it was not a good option.
Beatrice Fabri saving her energy, not bothering to chase that one down. She could see it was never going to work. Maya there with the unfortunate drop. It's not too windy at the moment, but I think the crossy nature of it is providing a little bit of trouble for these teams.
I agree. Here's France, second break chance of this point, but an immediate stoppage.
Pick being signaled by Agata Benzi. Looks like we're back in shortly. Game advisor signaling stall 2.
And immediately defended by Italy. And can Italy do it this time? In front of the end zone is Ascari. Looking for her reset now. There's an upline cut and a somewhat open player at the back of the end zone, but the throw a little too slow. The French defense gets in the way one more time. La Rivière. Finding Poisson. They go sideways to Dolé. And the main handler, Maillard, opens up the field with a big gainer. And here is the big put into the end zone. The Italian defender underneath it. She gets it on the front cone. Italy under a lot of pressure here from this poachy look by the French, really forcing them to reset the disc and swing it side to side. And there's a nice shot into the end zone. That looks like it's on the money. And yes, it is. Viola Novelli with the score for Italy.
Real battle of attrition that point. Both teams grinding out their unders. Finally finding Novelli free in the end zone. Some really great heads-up defense from Italy in that end zone. Just from France rather, switching and making things very, very difficult for the Italians.
I'm sure we're gonna analyze this French defense a bit more throughout the game. It does not look necessarily like a zone, so I would go for some poaches, but maybe we can have a look at that later.
So a hold for both teams. Not a clean hold for either team. What a forehand. Beautiful amount of float. Curving perfectly. Poisson, no chance.
So quite a slow start of the game with some fans or players maybe having a little rest in between the games. Oh, it is the Hungarians who were featured in the last showcase game. They took a loss against Canada, but fought quite valiantly.
Indeed. And still second in the pool, nothing to be sniffed at.
A pull from Romeo will start off the next point, but will land out of bounds.
Horizontal setup from France. Looks like honest match from the Italians. No poaching as of yet.
The French looking for the reset. Lassin winds up for the break side throw. So much pressure even in the break side from the Italians. Now they get it to La Peznec. And she finds her open teammate in the second half of the field. They don't take the easy up line, but reset instead to change the angle of attack. Mayat. Back to Lassin. And here's the continuation into the end zone. Scoring machine, La Peznec with the second goal of the game.
Beautiful flowing forehands from France in that point. Players throwing and going, finding the space in that quite narrow up line channel. The angle of the throws allowing France to run free of their defenders. Kruza sitting low into it, finding Le Peznec for the score.
Yeah, it looks like this corner, near corner to the camera, I think will be the place where we're going to see the most points this game.
That's a clean hold for France. They're looking much more comfortable than they did in that first point.
Despite the Italian pressure, I pointed out that they were very close even when the cut was made to the break side.
Le Peznec doing double duty here. Making her score and then putting her straight back out again for the pull.
I wonder if the game plan of the French team is to just try to get a comfortable buffer at the start of the game to put the Italians under a lot of pressure. Wouldn't be a bad one, of course, in the junior division. We know how volatile these youths can be. Italy received the pull deep in their end zone. Bianchi to the far sideline, and now they get it in the middle through traffic. Wide open Romualdi. Once again through the middle to Ascari. Oh, and somebody got a hand on that one.
Break chance for France. Maya walking slowly to the disc, giving her teammates time to set up. Le Peznec with the double mac on it, making sure Bianchi's nowhere near.
Centering pass to Lassin. She's got a wide open Bova. Now Mayat on the far sideline, waiting for her teammates to do the proper setup. That's a high disc and lots of pressure. No call from the French players, so we will attribute that D to the Italians there. Second chance for them to hold. Lovely inside shot to Villa. And here's the score for Italy, Bianchi.
Great effort from Bianchi, tearing away up that line. The Italians wasting no time in getting the disc back.
So if the French efforts were to get the breaks early and start the game strong, the Italians so far unfazed, managing to hold their ground, keeping the game equal. So we will see how long Le Peznec can pull the double duty.
I don't see her walking onto the line right now. So she's getting some respite. There's that D again. Great read from Alice Ravazio. And then lovely floaty backhand into the end zone. Great feet from Bianchi to keep it in.
So we're 1 point away from a heat break, I believe. So the players can really go all in on this one as the wind picks up quite significantly as compared to the other points. And the French slowly nearing the half line, the wind throwing away from the cameras at the moment. That was Le Bertre, who got the disc off the sideline. Now Gibbon looking to reset. It's not like the option after all. Now she gets it to Mayotte. And here's the shot into the end zone for the goal. Chevion Guillaume with her first score for France. And we're not going to go to heat break just yet. It will be at the 4 score. So a little bit more game time for the players in white and blue.
Confidence from France there, looking very comfortable, moving the disc very quickly and never giving the Italian defense time to set up. Spirit still high for the girls in blue. And here they go, flowing up that break side.
Anaël, 17 years of age, 163 centimeters, has been playing for 5 years in La Roche-sur-Yon. Pardon my French anyway. She's got loads of national experience, has been playing for the under-17 women's team already, be it at the European level, and under-20s as well. Elliot Bonnet, one of her sporting heroes, no surprise. Bonnet, a hero to many French players.
Not just French, I think. Most young players in Europe have probably been watching his career with great interest.
The Italians with a very interesting setup of 3 players, not just in the cold side, but also behind the disc, really making sure they open up the backfield. And it works out quite well. They're knocking on the doorstep. Now they're a little bit stuck on the end zone play. I think there's going to be a foul. Number 19, Ascari, tripping over the French defender.
Accepted straight away. La Rivière, I think, communicating with the game advisor.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. So it's a foul. Accepted. It's going to come in on 1.
Short clarification from the game advisor on the reset of the stall count. Italy facing off a flat mark. They put it up, it's floaty, but it's again ending up in the hands of the intended receiver. Italy hold to stay within, to stay equal.
Nice clean holds from Italy after an initial overthrow that was well kept alive by Romualdi. Heads up play from them.
What an interesting setup out of Italy, Ali. Did you see the 3 handlers in the back to really isolate 3 handlers, 3 players in front of the disc? And what an interesting decision by the French to sort of keep behind the disc and not peel off to jam up the space in front of the disc.
Yes, it looked like there were 3 by the handlers who were playing a bit saggy, but the upfield defenders still playing quite honest, even in that slightly unorthodox setup.
So here is the heat break point that I was advertising earlier.
So we've got universe and galaxy before a heat break point. What,
The
what would that be? Solar system point, maybe?
Oh, and a spinning pull from Romeo. And let's see if Italy's zone look can bring them the turnovers they need to get ahead in this game. France with a nice save to keep possession. Maillard, stuck on the near sideline, will throw around the first and second cup. Nice look. Now it's Larivière who's going to reset the disc to the original thrower. Italy getting dangerously closer with their cup. France deciding to keep just 2 handlers around the disc. Now popping through the cup to keep the Italians on their toes. They spread the game wide. Lassin calling for the disc on the near sideline. Through the first cup to Maillard. The two trying to work together to open up the game. So far, Italy containing. Big shot across the field to the other handler in the back. But France not really gaining any yards, and that throw hits the turf and rolls even closer to help Italy get this much needed break. Nice continuation in front of the end zone. Can they get the last pass in? Rubino. French defense gets in the way. And they carry on and continue with a hug, but that one's a bit too far for Larivière, who got the block in the end zone.
That hut came out looking nice, but then started to fade very, very quickly. You can see Rampazzo asking for some communication from the sideline, perhaps.
Mani picks up and centers. Yet another bit of flat mark from the French. Break chance for Italy here. Meroni towards the center. Good separation in the end zone, and that's a break!
Great effort from the Italians. That's a big momentum swing, the first break of the game, and right into our heat break. The French will have lots to think about, I'm sure. Lucilla Pavarini, she's 19. She's been playing for 3 years already, and she's been playing with Metacarpi.
So have a good look at the last score of this first part of the women's game. The teams will take a short break, refresh and recover. And we will do the same in the commentary booth. France, Italy, 4-3. But still a lot of time to play. Let's see some of these points. We'll be looking forward to more action. Checking out now.
The club season is upon us, and Ultiworld is bringing you all the action. Ultiworld is the best place for live video, news, highlights, and analysis of your favorite teams and players. Make sure to subscribe for our extensive live coverage of the USAU club season, including the thrilling club championships in San Diego in October, exclusively on Ultiworld.
We are back in the women's division at World Junior Ultimate Championship. The matchup between Italy and France was tied up until the last point where Italy managed to break. Now we see both teams coming back on the field. The French coaching staff leading their team towards the line. Same goes for Italy. Today in blue.
France 0-3 for their break chances so far. Italy having 4 and managing to score just the 1, putting them out in front.
France now under a little bit of pressure to get that point, the break back. Still during the first half, games continue to stop at 13. Here at the Junior Championship, there's been some adjustments made due to weather conditions. Games pushed back towards the morning, where the temperatures are a bit more appropriate for a game of Ultimate on AstroTurf. Italy coming out with yet another zone look. I think this time it's a bit different from the last one. And the French will need all their patience to work through it. All the way across the field, Mayat. She's been doing a big chunk of work in the handler space for France. A low grab for Saleh, but they keep the disc alive. Good upwind high release throw to move the disc to the far sideline. The points in this game have been quite long. The teams really testing out each other's patience. And look at this leading pass collected expertly by Fayour. And now a throwaway.
France doing all the hard work to break through that zone, only for it to be squandered. Italy with another break chance.
A slightly tired first cut, but gets there anyway. Naclerio looking for a reset. And a miscommunication gives the disc right back to France. On the far sideline is Lebertre. Fakes the hammer. Upwind, not sure if it would be a good idea. Maillard takes the reset. And so does Lebertre. Inside channel to the front of the end zone, collected, but not in just yet. That's a big disc, good collection, and a continuation into the end zone. That's a score for France.
Lebertre running around in front of the end zone. Defender chasing, getting free with some really nice jab steps So a dirty hold, but a hold nonetheless. This is crucial for France to stay within touching distance of Italy in the early to middle stages of this game.
Number 46, Crozat with the score. She's already had 2 assists in this game, so she's adding a goal. Look at that quick jab step, horizontal, nice horizontal cut along the end zone line.
She's already won gold in her ultimate career in Birmingham with the under-20s women, and she's currently playing for Monkeys Grenoble.
Team well known in the mixed division of the EUCS. So now the French D-line will have to work their magic. If I'm not mistaken, I see Le Pezenek on the D-line again. She's pulled double duty in the first part of the game, now supporting the French D-line. Bianchi receives the disc. And as she tries to go backwards, the disc goes in the opposite direction. And just what the French have been hoping for. They waste no time and put up a big forehand, 2 defenders underneath it. And that was a great piece of defense by Ascari, getting a hand on that. Good shutdown defense by the French downfield, forcing the Italians to go through the break side. Ascari through the middle and a double grab. If it really was at the same time, it will be the offensive player who will stay with the disc.
Lassen's got an opinion.
You are the only one here. I was like this and I felt your hand on mine. Do you have Okay, maybe name peut-être max line and then... She said in French, I will think you before. You don't have any...
From my perspective, it was too close to call.
Okay. I don't know what the foul is. He's supposed to be on offense, but I'm real sorry. I think I'm before, so I guess it's like turn, contested, so you go back to the back.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So it is a strip call, contested, we go back to the throw. What is the stall, please?
I definitely think France had that.
Okay.
She got her hand in there well before the clap catch was completed.
So after a longish discussion, the disc goes back to Italians. They have to get low to collect that one, but they're right in front of the end zone now and have a wide open player. And that's another score for Italy.
Looked like a blown switch. The Pezenek had stopped completely, I think expecting somebody to come and take in that player, but a bit of miscommunication with Lassen perhaps.
I hate when that happens. You're sort of like, you're almost sure that there's someone there. There has to be someone there, and then there's no one, and you're just like, I have to stake on the mark now. That's all I can do with this. And here's Benzi waving to the camera.
All smiles from Benzi, the student out of Rimini. She's played the under-17s twice already. I think it's harder to see at full speed, but in slow motion it definitely looked like she had her hand in there first. So France still trailing Italy by 1 point.
And what is a nice breeze for us here in the commentary booth might be a bit of a pickle for the teams down on the field. Pitch number 2 of Ultiworld coverage is not the only streamed field here at the World Junior Ultimate Championship. Feel free to tune in for the other games on the other fields, 3 more for your convenience. I hope you let us know if you've been enjoying the coverage so far. We have many more games to come. France now having to score and really just do their job to allow their D-line to then take care of the break. Centering to Delpech. On the near sideline is Caron. Now they get a bit of momentum, but Italy recovers. This four-handler setup is proving a bit more useful, I think, for France. Not forcing them to have to take those long swing shots across the pitch. It is now they almost seem to have always somebody open. It's now Caron on the near sideline. That's a big put, and the wind takes the better of it, just out of reach. Italy calming things down. Poisson almost got a hand on that. And the disc is denied by France the second time. Poisson in front of the end zone puts up a high release backhand for none other than Le Pezenek. And France hold.
Great block from Cruzat in a fantastic field position for France, able to capitalize almost immediately. Despite the errors, they are still clawing it back. Their O-line defense hanging on the shoulder of the Italian cutters. You can see Rampazzo getting some sideline coaching encouragement. There's that block from Cruzat. And then Poisson faking the channel open. Finding who else but Le Pezenek once again in the end zone. The French coaching staff, I think, providing some guidance to the O-line. The first time they came out against the Italian zone, the wing handlers were very positive, meaning they were having to take on some quite high, arcing, bladey shots, which they were executing very well, to be fair, but they're much harder to execute. So having four handlers back, having them a little bit more lateral, making life a lot more easy for them.
And that's a great floaty pull out of France, giving them a good chance to set up a zone of their own. It looks like a one-person mark with a wall of three behind them. So Italy will keep four of their handlers behind the disc. And so far they look like they're almost enjoying playing against this type of defense. And here is the run through D. They got a bit ahead of themselves. And I think it was Cruzat one more time with the block for France. A big moment for the French D-line. They forced a turnover last time. But still half a field to go. The reset struggling to get open. And that's a nice put for Le Pezenek. Favorite target of every French female junior. Now she's gonna get the disc. Across the pitch, winds up for the forehand. Lots of players underneath it. Can she keep her eyes on the disc? Yes, she can. And that is, in my opinion, a bookends for Cruzat.
Cusa, with so many blue Italian shirts, steamrolling up behind her, makes the high grab under pressure. The French fans in the stand going wild. Great heads-up play from Cusa. And then zooming free. Rahel, you did say that this right side corner of the end zone was going to see a few goals. You have been proven correct.
And that's a break out of the French. They couldn't have asked for much more.
So it appears that there will be a timeout called. Both teams are heading into the shade. Italy perhaps looking to make some defensive adjustments to their zone, while the French will be coming out on defense again after this.
Boston has its glory.
Jeff Babbitt with the size, the speed, the read.
Did he throw it the full 80 yards of the field?
You cannot kill this Minnesota team.
Are you believing what you're seeing? My hands are on my head up here in the booth.
Was there any doubt? Was there any doubt?
Holy smoke!
Get the ultimate news you need to know with the Deep Look podcast. I'm Charlie Eisenhood.
And I'm Keith Rayner, and together we bring the games, names, and moments in Ultimate to your podcast feed. We talk Ultimate's biggest news from on and off the field about and with the people making it.
Welcome back on pitch number 2, where the French team in white is starting this next point on defense, trying to stifle the Italians in blue with another zone lock that has brought them the much needed break in the last point. Italians, just as last time, are able to move the disc quickly and now get slowed down right in front of the end zone. It is a game of nerves for these junior women. Tight matchup on our hands. Ascari. No hesitation with the high release over the first cup. She finds Rampazzo for the score.
Italy breaking out the pizza cutter to slice through that zone with relative ease. The French Cup playing catch up, never quite getting there. And when they did, Italy just lofting one over the top. So we are now 6-all Galaxy point.
Let's look at that high release again. Yeah, that distance, Rampazzo put herself with her tall frame right behind that first cup. And that is no difficulty for an experienced handler to just pop that over the heads of the defenders for the score. French fans in the seats.
Rampazzo out of Padova, playing for the Padova Rangers. She's represented Italy before at the under-17 and under-20s level in 24 and 25 respectively, so a veteran of the junior scene. So we'll see how France takes on this Italian zone, if indeed they do play it.
And who's gonna take the first half? France sort of looking around to see what they will have to deal with during this next point. Dole in the handler space with Delpech. And none other than Maya. They find the open person through the first cup and continue to move that disc quickly, which I think is definitely the recipe to beat this Italian zone. Yeah, now they needed that far handler a bit closer, but it's okay. They covered the yards with a bit of give and go. And it looks like, no, not just yet. Italy is sticking with the zone, forcing the French players to walk around that wall with the disc. And they do. We're in our favorite scoring corner. Loving that quick movement from Mayat, moving the Italian defenders. That was, now they sort of tried to go for it and it just didn't work out, so France now going wide. Great grab from Mayat as she gets on the ground and on her knees to keep possession for France. Now isolating the front of the stack. Italy melting into match D, and France getting their end zone play ready. Le Pezanek looks for the continuation into the end zone, and yes, she finds it. I mean, these two, Ali, absolute machines.
France holding to take half, holding their nerve as well against that Italian zone. It looked like they had an assassin on Lali Meillard, the number 43 shirt. Naclerio trying to take her out of the game. So we see the French celebrate.
Le Pezanek and Kozat really dominating the end zone play. They have had so many points and assists and blocks to their names. I'm sure we will see them more in the second half. So the teams walk off and we get a little bit of a replay on that last bit of action from the first half. Crozet with the score and a French celebration. We'll be back soon with more. Italy, France, 7-6.
The club season is upon us, and Ultiworld is bringing you all the action. Ultiworld is the best place for live video, news, highlights, and analysis of your favorite teams and players. Make sure to subscribe for our extensive live coverage of the USAU club season, including the thrilling club championships in San Diego in October, exclusively on Ultiworld.
Welcome back to the clash of Southern European titans on pitch number 2. France versus Italy. After one break on each side, France taking the half, 7-6. Here are some stats from the first half, Ali.
as we can see, both teams have had quite a few break chances, but only able to convert one apiece. Italy 5 holds, France 6. Equal on turnovers, France forcing quite a few more blocks, Italy making life slightly harder for themselves with overthrows. Only 2 clean holes from Italy and 3 from France. It's been a relatively messy game, both teams putting a lot of pressure on each other. In terms of top performers, of course, we've got Gaëtan Lepezenec, but Agathe Cruzat making a real statement. 3 goals, 2 assists and 2 blocks. Keep your eyes on the number 46 shirt. Alice Ravazio also with a goal, assist and a block, and Ariana Ascari having a relatively quiet game by her standards with only an assist and 2 blocks.
But then, of course, doing a lot of work in the handler space. Let's have a look at some highlights.
Cruzat with that beautiful goal to Lepezenec, one of the favorite targets of the French side. She's been putting in a shift, playing a lot of points, both offensively and defensively. Lots of smiles from this French side. They're clearly enjoying themselves a lot.
Another big block by France. Like we said, they've had quite a few, but unable to convert every time. Another connection of the stars. And with a look at the French fandom here in the stands, we're gonna check out once more and see you soon for the second half of action here at pitch number 2.
The club season is upon us, and Ultiworld is bringing you all the action. Ultiworld is the best place for live video, news, highlights, and analysis of your favorite teams and players. Make sure to subscribe for our extensive live coverage of the USAU club season, including the thrilling club championships in San Diego in October, exclusively on Ultiworld.
Once again, hello from pitch number 2. Ultiworld coverage, Rachel Dushnarova in the commentary booth alongside Ali Thomas. We are back with the second half of the France-Italy matchup. France taking the half, but they will start the next one on defense. I am correct. And look at the Italian sideline, and Lepezenec getting ready to pull.
Big breath in as she runs up to the line.
It's been a tight game so far. I don't expect anything else for the second half either. It is the Italians who will move slightly downwind, I would say, on this offensive possession. A reset goes to Benzi, who finds Ascari. Continuation to Novelli, and we're nearing the last third of the field. Ascari goes for the give and go. Her teammates setting up in the end zone, sort of away from the disc, making space. Lots of isolation. Ascari, huge bit for saving possession. And a high release for the score. Again, that connection with Rampazzo. She likes her tall targets, and that's a clean hold for Italy.
Incredible possession saving play from Ascari. Full stretch fingertips to keep that disc off the ground, and then keeping her composure to find Rampazzo. Rampazzo with the hockey assist there as well.
I mean,
my word.
that's what Ultimate is about right there. Incredible athleticism.
Holding that disc up high, it was served to her on a platter.
On your screens, you can also see some of the results from the other games that are happening at the moment. New Zealand taking on the home teams from Spain, winning 11-6 in Pool A. Czechia currently losing to Great Britain. That is not great news for the Czechs.
And the USA 1 point away from vanquishing New Zealand over in the open division. Close game between Canada and Japan, though.
If you want to check out the live results by yourself, feel free to type into your browser wjuc.wfdf.sport. Results are updated live by the lovely volunteers here in Logroño. Thank you to everyone who's chosen to spend a week here with the World Juniors and help us run this tournament, including, of course, the tournament organizing committee. But back to the action on the field. A high disc for France and a zipper of a forehand through the break side. France gaining yards quickly. Maya thinks about going straight for the end zone. It's Koza. Back to Mayotte. A different end zone look from the French. And here's the continuation. Quick pop into the hands of number 26, Fayot.
Really hard, aggressive cutting from the French end zone there. Love to see the attack of that front cone and then clearing out really hard, allowing somebody else to attack into that space after the reset has come off.
It did look a lot more crispy than the past few possessions, I agree.
Crispy, crunchy offense. Lali Maillard, such a key part of this French offense. She's playing with her sister Ella this year, although they've mostly been on different lines. Apparently, Ella is Lali's sporting hero, and they are super excited to be able to play together this year, which is very sweet.
Love these stories, in particular at the Junior Championships. 8-7 the score. France keeping in the lead, but Italy staying close, hoping for that strong finish. Le Pezenek with the pull. Benzi gets a nice gainer to the far sideline. Once again, this interesting setup out of Italy where they keep a lot of players behind the disc. Looks like the French defenders are slowly getting the idea of maybe putting some poaches in if they can, if their players are not active. Italy transitioning into a horizontal stack. So that interesting look is probably just a set play to get things started. And here is a shot for the goal. Number 10, Romualdi with the score.
Great awareness, Romualdi in the end zone. But Arianna Ascari running the show. As soon as the disc left her hand, she was off to the races, looking for it back. French defense having a really hard time keeping up with her.
Some more volunteers in the shot.
Great grab from Ascari here. Then Romualdi on that bounce back onto the open side.
Italy answers with an equally crispy bit of offense.
It's so nice seeing players so happy to score goals and get stats, given that squads are so large and the points in games have been shortened due to the weather. You don't get that many opportunities to actually get your name on that stats leaderboard. So it's really nice to be able to score a goal for your country, score an assist for your country, especially when the stands and all your sporting heroes, if they're your coaches, are there watching.
About 16 minutes left on the clock. Some more results below on your screen from the other divisions as well. And Italy's zone. Bit of a miscommunication. Crozet forced to put her body on the ground to keep possession. Lots and lots of passes in this game.
They're assassinating Lali Maya again.
Big wind up, but Italy's defense more than ready to prevent that. So probably a good option to stay with the small ball for Italy. The handlers constantly having to adjust to the upwind, downwind direction as there's quite a bit of side wind right now. Low grab. France stay with it. Another half a field to go. Now the mark getting a bit more aggressive. Looks like a backhand force, broken now. That's a high disc, read well by Delpech, who found Crozet right in front of the end zone. And a good transition out of Italy. Oh, and an excellent heads-up D from Rota. Italy with a break chance. They move quickly. There is a player deep, but a French defender underneath it as well. Who's gonna get there? No one, and a foul called from both players, I believe.
Oh, interesting. I think Rampazzo might have beaten Maya to the punch in terms of signaling. I think she's saying that her foot was stepped on and so she couldn't make her jump. Maya was definitely backing into her.
No, I'm like this, and you come behind me. I can see you.
Come to you. I was on my position, I think. I didn't do a step on you.
I think I was on my position too. I know that I step on your foot, but I don't think. I think it's because we jump at the top.
I know. I put my arm on.
Oh no, you're right. They both did signal foul at the same time.
Because you stepped on my foot, and I was like, ah.
And for me, it's like at the same time almost.
Okay.
Would you like to hear my perspective?
Yes, you can.
From my perspective, she had the space first and you were moving backwards into her.
But I can see her. So I step on her foot, but I don't see her. Like
Yeah, so like I said, from my perspective, she had the space first and you moved and you've initiated contact.
I know, but...
Okay, it's been a minute.
Calling a foul.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to it, you just send it back. But if you want, you can listen to it.
Yeah, I accept.
Okay. Accept it, Phil.
That is some really good spirit from the French player, following the perspective of the game advisor, who has done a good job of not interrupting the discussion too early, letting the players express their opinions first. But that just means that Italy stays with the disc and with their break chance. Naclero into the end zone. Oh, and despite the defense, they catch that disc. And it's a score for Italy. Meroni adds a break to the Italian scoreboard. She herself can't believe that she caught that. She had no idea that disc was going to end up in her hands.
That was pure instinct, I think, allowing her to catch that disc, hands wrapping around it after the touch from the French defender. And here we see the Italian break train, a couple of hops, and they are fired up after that one. Here we can see they're looking for Maillard in that IO space, denied by Manni. And then doesn't she look surprised, Caterina Meroni?
She caught that like it was her own baby.
Oh, heartbreak for the French. The second Italian break. Putting themselves out ahead once again.
So the pressure's on for the French. They're really getting close on the line for the next pull, hugging each other, resetting.
We've got Maillard out again. We'll see if the Italians continue to match mark her during the zone. She's the one who's been responsible for so many of those arcing shots kind of over the zone, so they're really looking to keep her off the disc.
Italian coaches keeping the stats in much more detail than we do up here for our purposes.
Hitting some French players on the sideline there. Though they were well behind the 3-meter line, so not on them.
And it looks like the French will want to take it from the sideline, choosing the extra meters over the advantageous position of a
From
brick
my
mark.
perspective, it came out about 5 meters from the blue line.
Oh wow, very
As soon
short field.
So rules clarification, as soon as it hits an outside person, the disc becomes out of bounds. And so it's where, if the first point of where it came over the line is where the out of bounds would be. So from my perspective, it came out here.
Good job by the game advisor. Over the top, that's what you were talking about, Ali, earlier. A really short field for the French. And a low disc. Italians striking deep immediately, forcing the French defense to cover up those deepmost players. And that's miscommunication on the reset. France responds in the same fashion. Lepezanek wastes no time, puts up one for her teammate La Rivière in the end zone, and that's an easy hold now for France. I think that's exactly what they needed at this time of the game.
Peach of a throw from Lepezanek, perfectly weighted for La Rivière to run onto. The Italian zone still causing some kinks in the French offense, especially since Maillard's being taken out of the game. So less than 8 minutes left in this match. Both teams unwilling to give an inch.
We'll see some more highlights from Lepezanek being on the receiving end or throwing into the end zone. That last forehand of hers really having such a nice edge on it. She's a defensive beast as well.
It's so dangerous to have someone who's a fantastic receiver and can create a lot of separation, but then once she gets the disc, as we see, can bang it deep.
She put it into the wind. No chance for the defense to get there. So she stays for the field, on the field for France. quite a long pull with not too much hang time. Villa. Goes sideways to Benzi. And that forehand goes to turf. She went for that quick release. And I think he got caught on her fingers just enough to hit the ground before the intended receiver could ever get there. Lepezanek now on fire. A wobble on the disc. One more chance for Italy. France forced to recover. There's a French defender looking for that free person somewhere. And the zone is reset. Great look. Italy having to go to the ground to keep possession. Now they're trying to slice through the ends through the first cup. Nothing there. There's a person sort of open in the end zone. But Italy not willing to take unnecessary risks. They take it around to Ascari. She gets it again. Will she be looking over the first cup once more? No, she resets. They spread it wide. Villa. Ascari once more. No one there. The French defender staying tight on the players in the end zone, and it pays off. Lepezanek with a ripper of a backhand into the end zone. Goes France for a late break of the game. That's a score for the French team in white.
That's Ella Mayal getting the hug from her sister Lali. Striding down the field, she puts her hands on her knees. She does not have a lot of breath left after that run. France putting themselves 10-1 ahead of Italy after a nail-biter of a point. My goodness. You can see Lepezanek looking deep. She wants to get the point over with. I think her foot might have actually been on the line there as she caught the disc. Either way, it's a point for France. As we are now at 10 points, we will be having another heat break. Italy with some questions to answer after this.
The club season is upon us, and Ultiworld is bringing you all the action. Ultiworld is the best place for live video, news, highlights, and analysis of your favorite teams and players. Make sure to subscribe for our extensive live coverage of the USAU club season, including the thrilling club championships in San Diego in October, exclusively on Ultiworld.
versus Italy on pitch number 2. We're in the women's division, Pool A, and France just got a late game break. Lepezinek leading her team with a bull of a nature towards victory.
Of course, these teams have faced each other before. Last time it was in the final at EYUC. Italy getting the better of France that time, who'd been ahead pretty much the whole game. So the Italians no strangers to being behind France in a high pressure game.
Lepezinek with another pull. And both teams employing a zone to force as many passes as possible. In fairness, the last few Ds have been blocks from the other team rather than throwaways. And Italy seeing the empty space, but without the receiver there. Another chance for France. That would be very, very painful for the Italians if they manage to get 2 in a row. But I'm sure if you're a French fan, that's exactly what you're hoping for. There is Fayot with the disc. Looking for the reset. Delpech. French now quite far from the disc. No undercuts, forced to reset. Now they get there through the break side, high grab. Inside channel, but that one is far even for the monster of a scorer, Lepezinek.
Yeah, nice low release from Faroul there, but as you say, just too much on it. So Italy with another chance to hold as the stands chant defense and clap. We can tell whose side they're on here.
But an important scare, I would say, for the French to really see that, let the Italians know that they're here and they're serious about trying to get 2 breaks in a row. The Italians with a whole field to go. They get a nice gainer on the far sideline and try to go for the continuation into the end zone. That would have been a play of the year if she had made that. But once again, the wind getting the better of that disc.
I could not read that disc at all. It went down a bit and then it went up a bit. When it first came out, I thought, okay, she's got absolutely no hope of making this. Then it popped up. I thought, oh, maybe. And then sadly, right in front of the toes of Marilou Delpech.
The French pick up once more. Will they try to be aggressive in this possession or go nice and steady? Oh, and that is a Callahan for Italy. What a way to hype up your team. Wonderful look from Agata Benzi.
This could be exactly what Italy needs to relight the fire and get themselves some more breaks. A little whirlwind of a celebration around Agata there. The French press deep into their own end zone, losing that separation between stack and handlers and running out of options. Italy snapping the jaws around that one.
Let's look at that again. Great presence of mind for Team Italy. Keeping the eyes on the prize and scoring a Callahan this late in the game to tie us at 10. We are on Universe.
There was really no more fitting end to the meeting of these two teams to end up on Universe once again. We saw it before at EYUC in 2025. The Italians had the better of it then. They will be coming out on defense on the Universe point, and the French have a lot of pressure on them now.
Sara Rabaglia and Gaia Pancotti of the Italian coaching team, two shout players. trying to come up with the best strategy for this last point of the game, because only one thing is certain, it will be the last point. But on this world stage, we will see if we'll get a replay of the EYUC final.
I'm very much looking forward to this French power line. I think it's going to be amazing.
I would be surprised if Le Pezenet wasn't on it. The same with Crozat. They've been the stat leaders not only at the tournaments but in this game as well. For Italy, it would be surprising not to see Arianna Ascari.
Rebecca Brampazzo has also had a fantastic game. They've been using Angelica Naclerio to assassinate Maya in that zone, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her on as well.
Agata Benzi, also with 2 goals and 1 assist. Capello and Mani.
Big French presence here in the stands, making themselves known.
And the pull of the last point of this game goes up. Who is it gonna be? The French in white, who let the disc slip, and it goes all the way to the back of their end zone. Now they're having to adjust. They added a little bit more to that mental pressure they would have had anyway in a point like this. The Italians obviously completely hyped that they're this close to getting a D. A very, very uncomfortable position for the French. They go for the Hail Mary. That's a high disc. Will the defender read it? They both misread it. And Italians waste no time. It is time for the French to recover now or never. They're nearing the end zone line. High release. Looking for that quick pop into the end zone. Will they find it? Yes, they will! Italy takes the win! None other than Ascari to lead them to victory. They started this point on defense, got the break early, pushing the French, and hard break for the team in white. Italy go down in celebration.
They say it's hard to beat the same team twice. The Italians have proved that to be untrue here in Logroño. They take the top position in the pool. They retain their top seed in the tournament. The French fought them tooth and nail all the way to the end, but when it came down to it, that pull and the failure to stop it really did for France.
What an incredible game by these junior women. There will be a round of high fives for each and every one of them. A performance that none of these teams have to be ashamed of. Let's see at that last have a look at the last pull once more. I think that was the beginning of the end for the French as they then tried to get around the Italian zone cups. And here once more the last score. Capello with the assist for the Italians.
Pure delight for the team in blue. The French may well have a tougher quarter, but Pool B is still not decided, so both teams will have to wait until the afternoon rounds are finished to find out who their quarters will be against.
We have more action coming up here on field number 2. The nearest one is US women's versus Canada women. You can have a look at the pool standings one more time. Italy jumping over France to take the first spot. And then the still undecided Pool B with one of their most important matchups coming up. Interestingly enough, we have Czechia in Pool A, currently losing to Great Britain. They can only afford to lose by 2, I believe, to stay in the top 4. And they're at 10-8 right now. If they lose by any more, they're out of the top 4 and out of the tournament bracket, which would be, of course, a heartbreak, not just to them, but also to me. Here are the French fans packing up and moving on to the next game in those categories with some highlights from this clash of titans from Southern Europe. We would like to thank you for watching the Ultiworld coverage that's been here all week. Not just the showcase pitch number 2, but a field pass that features another couple of fields for your convenience, entertainment, and enjoyment. Make sure to stay with us for the rest of the week. There's plenty of games as we slowly enter the bracket stage in the upcoming days. My name is Raquel Doshnerova, and I was joined here by my dearest, Ellie Thomas. And this was one of the last games in Pool A between Italy and France. Final score, Italy 11, France